This is Raw Narrative. Raw Narrative. Stories in the raw.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Raw Narrative, episode 4. Whoop, whoop.
You're already 4 episodes in. That's wild.
Already 4 episodes in. It's crazy. I know. I am here with, I'm Adriana, your host, and I'm here with my husband, Tyler.
Hi, I'm the husband, Tyler.
Yeah.
I'm the
Long
behind
time no see, right? We're wearing the same clothes.
Same night.
Well, they don't know that.
Oh, yeah. We don't have a lot of clothes.
We didn't know.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
Is I spilt coffee all over myself between filming the last episode and now. Yeah.
When?
Like, I just poured coffee.
I know, but you spilled on yourself?
All over myself.
Downstairs?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
My shirt, which is like somewhat covered by this blanket, is just like soaked with coffee.
Well, I'm glad the blanket. We've got fuzzy blankies. What do you guys think? Look at it. It's so cute. Oh yeah, this was like one of my Black Friday finds. It's so fuzzy. It's like checkers, and like if you're not watching on YouTube, you can see it, but it's like sage and cream checkers, like super cute. I'm obsessed. And then Tyler has like this waffly one. It's like a waffle print.
I didn't pick it out. I'm just using it.
Yeah. We like blankies. Well, guys, I mean, not really much of a live update for you. Listen to
We like blankies.
We like blankies. Life update. My in-laws are coming into town.
I know. We got like 2 days to prepare.
Yeah. I mean, when you guys listen to this, they will have already been here and gone, but they're coming into town for your 30th birthday. So, and what kind of birthday party are you having?
So, in honor of turning 30 and getting older, I'm having a pickleball party because that's what you do when you're not athletic anymore, but you still want to like do things that are sporty.
Oh my gosh. Pickleball. Yes, we are obsessed with pickleball. I should say, like, I try to be obsessed. I really like it, but like I'm not as good as Tyler. And our friends are really good at it too. So we're going to have a really fun time. We booked like 2 courts here locally in Charlotte, and
It's our first time playing indoors.
indoor because we have pickleball. We're spoiled. Okay.
Yeah,
we have free.
Don't let them know where we live though, because I don't want
I'm
people
not
using
going to
it.
say where we live.
Don't
okay?
come to our neighborhood.
You're
and
not allowed
use
to
our
come to
pickleball courts.
I know. We live like in Charlotte. That's all I'm going to say. But we have free pickleball courts in our neighborhood.
And they're usually not being used, which is a rarity.
It's rarity.
Because I've
like,
heard from a lot of people
yeah.
that free pickleball courts get really, really used. Like we went to the pop-up park.
The puppy pop-up. Yes. They had pickleball courts. People were there early. It was like drizzling just a smidge, and then it cleared up right before our shoot. But like people were playing in like early in the morning, like 7:30?
Yeah, like all the courts. So if you want to play pickleball, you should definitely go to that park.
Go to that park, not ours.
Not our neighborhood.
Not our neighborhood. I know.
Yeah.
Shh, it's a secret.
Our neighborhood is not free and easily accessible to play pickleball.
Yeah. Well, what else will have happened by the time they listen to this episode? So this is going out in like 2 weeks. So, I mean, you guys need to sign up for my next pop-up. That's coming up soon. So that's December 31st. And it
Definitely
is
sign
date
up.
night on the rooftop. Minimum of 8 photos, $99, adults only, romantic New Year's Eve photos. Oh my word.
I might be there
Tyler-
passing out public subs out of my van. No, I'm kidding. But I might.
No, we're not going to. Oh my gosh. Go listen to episode 3. Okay.
Yeah,
that's where that came from.
That's a deep cut joke. So.
Yeah. That's going to be like our joke now. Like Tyler in a van at night passing out public subs.
Yeah. But it is going to be like kind of close to nighttime when you do this particular pop up.
Yeah.
So.
It's date night on the rooftop. Well, it's going to be sunset. So slots start at like 2:30, I think, or 3 or something like that. But you guys.
It's going to be awesome though. And
Yeah.
honestly, we're just excited to see you guys dressed up that way.
Yeah. Like if you want it cash, be cash. But if you want to like for instance, if you're a Swiftie, like wear that Swiftie fit. Like This is the time to like get the glitz out, the glam, if you want the pumps. It's going to be legit. So
And we're going to live vicariously through you guys because we don't ever dress up. So
yeah, but we like acknowledging and looking at people that do. Like, we're like, wow, I wish I could look like that. And I'm over here in like a Bluebell sweater.
And then after the shoot, we'll like talk about you and be like,
they looked amazing.
Oh, I was going to say like suckers. They were dressed up.
Oh,
we were comfy.
They were comfy.
We're going to be comfy. We're going to be looking
well,
super
that's the thing is like,
comfy
it's
over
fun.
there.
Like I like getting dressed up. And then like the best part of getting dressed up is coming home and getting in sweats.
Yeah.
Like
after you just like pound some carbs. And
yeah. You just put on your sporty clothes, stretchy pants, a big baggy sweater like this. And you just like chill. Nothing restrictive.
As a guy, there's nothing like.
Yeah. Especially if you've been in heels. Like kick those off. Like on our wedding day, I didn't even wear shoes at all. Not even to the reception. I was barefoot the entire night. Well, we got married on the beach, okay? But
And I wore linen pants.
Tyler ripping his pants. We'll get into that some more. You guys already know that from one of the episodes that he ripped his pants on our wedding day. But yeah, today, like, that's kind of, oh, well, what else will happen? My birthday, your birthday, my birthday. I'm going to be 28. So I will be 28 when you guys are listening to this.
Should we go through some stuff you're into in case they're wanting to like get you gifts for your birthday?
Okay, Tyler, what am I into?
Okay, things that Adriana is into for those wanting to get Adriana McGowan.
I don't even know what
photography
I'm
gifts.
into. What am I into?
Dude, checkered pattern all day.
So cute. I love it.
Anything checkered pattern right now. I mean, it's like the trends she's into will come and go, so she'll love it for like 6 months. And
I
then it'll be
love
something
trends.
else.
I love a good trend.
Yeah,
I'm not ashamed of. Huh?
The like greens or olive greens
I
right
love
now.
greens. Hence the branding for Raw Narrative. I'm really into greens.
Monochromatic.
Yes, well, everybody
Ooh,
is.
ooh,
Like that's like how we have to dress for
dude.
choir.
What is it? The
What am I into?
chocolate brown is back.
Oh
Can
my
you
gosh.
believe it?
Okay, I literally had a chocolate brown bedroom. I'm not lying. Every single wall when I was a teenager was chocolate brown. I was obsessed.
I thought we left that in 2008, and yet here we
so
are,
happy
and it's
it's
2023,
back.
almost 2024,
I love chocolate.
and chocolate brown's back.
It's back. And you know why I'm excited about this? Because my name literally means chocolate. It does. It means my name is Adriana. So if you say it like Adriana, it means dark and rich. That's literally what my name means. Look it up. So like dark and rich, what else is dark and rich? Chocolate. Like that's literally my name. I don't think he's entertained.
Because I'm like looking at you right now, and it's winter time, and like I feel like you are neither of those right now.
I'm not dark and rich? Oh, really? Okay, I'm getting fair.
Yeah, it's
okay,
not
that's
even
fair.
summertime right now.
I
so-
know, but I get I get golden when I play pickleball, dude. Like since we've lived in like Charlotte, I have been so white. Like,
It's true.
but when
She's
we
like a
start,
different person.
yeah, because I'm Puerto Rican, Dominican, so that side comes out in the sun, and then my little inner white girl comes out like in the winter, and I'm like, oh, I love all the white girl things. Like I love.
Well, and that's the thing is
fall and
because
the-
like here in Charlotte, this is where all the basic white girl lives.
Yeah.
Compared to like Florida, it's like more.
I love it. I get
more
to be
like-
all of it. I get to be a basic white girl. It's my favorite thing in the world. And I get to be Puerto Rican. It's fun.
Yeah.
Anyways, but when I play pickleball, that's when I get really tan. So that's like in the summer, that's a fun thing. But
If you guys ever want to play, hit us up or hit Adriana up on her
yeah,
Instagram.
if you live in Charlotte and you literally want to play pickleball with us,
We're
hit me
always
up.
looking for people to play.
But just know Tyler is very competitive.
and I'm like super chill on this podcast, but I might yell a little bit if we're
No,
playing.
he's like really, really competitive. Like, you know, those gamer guys. Well, he is one of those sometimes. But do you know, like, the guys that watch football that like scream at their team? That's him with like pickleball, though. He doesn't really scream at his team on the TV.
Yeah, I would say probably get more competitive in pickleball than
Yeah.
because I'm mainly mad at myself when I don't do things well.
Yeah.
That's what I get
You're
mad
hard
at.
on yourself.
Yeah.
But today, let's talk about from like, yeah, I mean, like last episode, we talked about how we met. Let's talk about like when it started getting more heated and spicy. Yeah. Like engagement. Like, okay, we're getting like in the engagement phase. Like, let's get married. So, like, how did you know? Like, how did you know you wanted to marry me? Like, I want to know.
I feel like that
The world wants to know, Tyler.
I feel like that question has been like loaded, and
Yeah.
you've just been waiting to ask that.
How did you know? How do I know?
Have you even asked me this
he
question in our
loves
personal life?
me? Probably.
Really?
I don't know. I think so. Like, how did you know you wanted to marry? I've definitely asked you this question.
And what was my answer? 'Cause
I don't know. It changes every day. So how
I know,
do you?
so why do you? Why do we
I'm
keep
curious.
asking?
I'm
Like,
curious
what's my
of
version of the story
like
this time?
2023 version
Okay.
of Tyler. How do you know?
Okay, so I'll give my 2023 version.
2023 version. We'll
I
ask you in
probably told
2024
you
again.
like 5 different versions of this.
Yeah.
Okay. I've always said like the season of life I was in at the time, and if you listen to the podcast right before this, I talk about how prior to meeting Adriana, I was very single, very much like caught up in my career, lots of travel, enjoyed kind of the bachelor element that came along with that, and just not really a lot of responsibility. But I was telling a buddy of mine years ago, because he was kind of in a similar season as I was, and I remember telling him, but I just kind of reliving it. I remember thinking back to myself how, given that I was in that season of life and I didn't really have a lot of responsibility to anyone or anything maybe other than my work, there was just a lot of opportunities to be really wild and or crazy. And then I met you, and of course we were really in love and still are, of course, but and so I think for me it was just recognizing that, and I even said this in our wedding video, so I guess this is a consistent story, but I guess it was just recognizing that the timing was right, in the sense that, you know, I definitely could have kept living that bachelor lifestyle and probably gotten myself into all types of stuff or situations, or lived my entire life doing everything that I wanted to do on my own time and my own terms, or like kind of looking at it as like God giving me the opportunity to meet you and having some stability. Not that I wasn't stable financially, but I'm talking about more like thinking about myself holistically and the type of person that I wanted myself to be, and how like you were so complimentary to where I was like, my life was never stable in that season, because I mean, when I say I was traveling a lot, guys. So it's, I was gone all the time. And that was true of me when we got married, but it was awesome in that season of life, once I met Adriana, to have someone to actually come home to, someone who kind of was my home in a way, right? Because if you guys remember from the last episode, I'm not from Tampa. So when I was living there, Tampa didn't even always feel like home to me, because that wasn't where I was from. I didn't know a lot of people. And so the timing was just, and as I said in our wedding video, I felt like Adriana came a lot sooner than I was expecting, but it almost felt like a God thing, because it was like, okay, like I didn't really think I would be getting married right now, but I recognize that I need someone like Adriana. Is kind of that helpmate, you know. So.
Needed somebody that was spicy.
Yeah, I did.
You needed some flavor. flavor. Oh, so how did you know you're ready to like pop the question? Like, let's talk about your perspective at the ring shop, because everybody wants to know, why did you buy my engagement ring in front of me? Long pause. No answer.
I actually don't. I mean, maybe you described it best. Like, realistically, and so hear me out, everyone. When I say I travel all the time, like I didn't go to towns that had like ring shops, okay? Like the towns I went to were not
Mayo,
like,
Florida.
Yeah, like you don't go to Mayo, Florida looking for a wedding ring, okay?
If you're from Mayo, Florida, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I always say to get there, you have to find the middle of nowhere and then take a right and keep going. Because that's how
Mayo.
yeah. Oh man, I spent more time in towns like that than I would like to admit. Like I went to a lot of small towns. And as Adriana kind of alluded to, I guess the practical side of me was just kind of like, oh, we're here. I'm about to hit the road tomorrow and be in a town that I'm not going to be able to buy a ring in. So let's just buy the ring.
So like that totally makes sense. Like hearing it from your perspective. But in the moment, in my perspective, I was like, I wanted him to surprise me. Like I wanted this to be like a surprise of like, I don't know what kind of ring I'm getting. But at the same time, like as a woman, you want to be in control of like, what's it going to look like? Am I going to like it? You know? So like you've got that toss up too, right?
And in all fairness, like I was there when you picked out my ring. So I feel like it's kind of a double standard.
It is a double standard. I feel like the engagement ring process is a double standard. Because like half the time, and we all know this, you be ordering your man's ring off Amazon. What if he ordered your ring off Amazon? Would you be cool with that?
I know. So your ring was like
Yeah,
a good ring.
it's a nice ring. I got some ice, baby. But I got your ring at a ring shop, and you picked out your ring. Do you remember?
I absolutely do.
I picked it out and it has champagne diamonds. His is yellow gold with a black stripe with champagne diamonds across the black stripe. It's beautiful. But he can wear it sometimes, but like his hand broke out. Was it like 3 months after marriage of you wearing it consistently? His hand like broke out in this bad rash. We think it could be to like gluten but now like we're scared of it happening again. So he wears it and like he's been testing it out lately to see if he can wear it more often. But he can't really wear it that often because of his skin issues.
I know my hands are very sensitive to breaking out.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah. So let's talk about the proposal. So after you got the ring.
See, this is where I like really hit a home run.
This is where he hit a home run. Okay. So like tell everybody like where you were traveling quite often at the time.
I spent a lot of time in DC during that stage of my career, usually a few months out of the year, sometimes more. And so at this point, Adriana and I had been dating long enough that I was good friends with not only Adriana, but of course, like her parents, knew her family. So we were all pretty tight.
Commingled.
Yeah, we were pretty tight knit for that season of life. And so I was in DC. I had like a 2 or 3 week trip there. And her entire family came to visit me in DC. They were staying at the hotel with me where I was staying. And we were all just kind of sightseeing when I wasn't working, or they were going out during the day when I was working. And had a fun trip, got to see everybody. And I had coordinated with her best friend to...
What's up, Madison?
So I had talked to her in advance, and her friend had found out that I was intending to propose in DC when I was there for work. So I had actually brought the ring with me to DC. And her friend took the train all the way in from Philadelphia, where she was living at the time.
She was attending the University of the Arts, theater major, stage management major. Had to throw that out there. So proud of you.
So there were like 6 of us staying in like a 2-bedroom hotel room, by the way.
Yeah. So like Madison and I, did Madison and I share a bed?
There
or
were
like
so
did
many.
Zoe and I share a bed?
There were so many of you guys in that second room.
Because Zoe's my sister, so I don't know if I was sharing a bed with someone on the pullout. And then did my parents have like the bed? Like, or I don't remember.
No, I had the bed because I was there the entire time.
You were there the entire time.
Yeah, so all my stuff was already in the.
But there was
main-
did we bring air mattresses or?
Yeah. Like I think you guys brought. Oh wait.
I don't remember.
Anyway, there was a lot of people.
There's a lot of people. It was like, it looked like a big Hispanic family just crammed into a small
Which
space.
it kind of was.
I mean, it was.
There's a couple white people mixed in there, but most
Yeah,
there's a
this is
couple
Latinos
Hispanics,
over here.
a couple Latinos. They were right at home.
Oh, it was great. It was fabulous. So, but here's the thing, okay? I already knew he had the ring. I had suspicions that he could potentially propose.
In DC?
And, well, yeah, I had suspicions it could happen, but I didn't know when it would happen. And I was getting
You thought it was going to
discouraged.
be DC?
Yeah, I had suspicions. Did you know that?
No,
I
you never
had
told me that.
and I've
been
never, I
lied
don't know if
to
I
all
ever
these
told you
years.
this, but you were at a training and I was alone in the hotel room and I went in your room and I snooped around.
No, you snooped around my room
I
for the ring?
snooped around
Did
your
you
room.
find it?
No,
You know where I had it?
I do now.
Okay.
I know because you told me, but I looked in your drawers.
Thank God I didn't put it in there.
I
Smarter
looked
than that.
everywhere. But tell everybody where you had it.
Yeah, so the room that I was staying in had a decent sized closet for a hotel room. And I stuck the ring like all the way into the front of my black pair of dress shoes that I wasn't wearing.
The little ring box in his
Yeah,
dress shoes.
or I should say, I always take a pair of brown and black shoes when I travel for work. Because, that's what you do when you're a guy and you work in business. You always have a pair of brown
and a reversible belt.
and a reversible. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So, day to day, depending on like which pair of shoes I was wearing, I would flip flop the ring. So, if I needed to wear my brown shoes,
I didn't know you flip flopped the ring.
yeah. So I would. So like if. And you know what's funny though is I don't know that I necessarily was hiding the ring from you. I think I might have been mainly hiding it from like housekeeping.
Oh my gosh.
Just in case they were
That's
like cleaning the room.
hilarious.
Because I've heard stories of people
like-
that I've worked with who have had nice jewelry.
Stolen.
Yeah, like stolen out of the rooms when
Oh
housekeeping.
my
So
goodness.
what's funny is I don't know that I was really even hiding it from you.
Oh my gosh.
I think I was just hiding it from
snooped.
housekeeping.
I have to confess, 6 years? Well, no, 7 years later since we've known each. How many years since we've been engaged? 7?
Yeah, I guess so.
So I'm sorry. I snooped through your personal
Doesn't matter,
items.
You didn't find it.
Yeah, I didn't
outsmarted
find
you.
it. So then
Or
that's
the
why I was
housekeepers.
discouraged. I was discouraged because I was like, well, he's not going to propose. And here's the thing. Here's the cover story, okay? My best friend, Madison, we spent the whole day together exploring the Capitol. And I've been to DC before, but we literally had so much freaking fun. And I was exhausted, but she kept saying, like she said, hey, because she went to University of the Arts, you have to take artsy classes, right? So she said, I'm in a photography class and I have an assignment that I have to go get photos at the National Cathedral. I need to go there to get photos for this assignment because that's what I told my professor I was going to do. And I have to do this since I took time out of my college schedule to come to DC. So she like painted this whole picture and she told me this, like, she would kind of make little plugs like here and there, but it was like very natural plugs. And
Yeah,
I was
great
like,
acting, hence her
oh my gosh,
career
it
choice.
was
Right? I know
really-
she's
and
not
I'm-
like an
I am
actress, but
so
still.
gullible. I'm the most gullible person ever. Like I'm like Amelia Bedelia on steroids. I'm a little bit better now. I've got a little bit better with my street smarts and like reading through people. But growing up all the way and then all the way through like my early to mid 20s, gullible. Late 20s, I'm getting a little bit more sharp. But at that time I fell for it, like everything. And then I was exhausted. So at the end of the day, after exploring DC with Madison, got back on the metro, got back to the hotel. I'm hungry. I want to see my boyfriend because he just finished up his classes. And I'm like, I want to hang out with him. Let's all go get food together or whatever. And that's kind of where I was at because I was getting hangry, but the sun was setting. This is like March. So it was like spring, March 6th. It was spring 2017, and the sun was still setting like pretty early. Like it wasn't like summer sunset yet. So he was concerned, like, oh my gosh, we're running out of daylight. And we got back to the hotel, and Madison kept saying, hey, like, I know like you're tired, but I really have to get this assignment done. Like, I really want to go to the National Cathedral. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I was just like, I am tired. I'm hungry. I do not want to go anywhere. And that's when Tyler chimed in. And two, I was thinking like, it's freaking far from, because weren't we staying closer to Alexandria? Or like, where were we staying?
Not Alexandria.
I don't know. It was like a 40-minute drive, I remember, like 40-minute drive from where
We had to catch an Uber.
Yeah. And two, he's frugal. Tyler is one of the most frugal people ever. And so I was like, he's not going to pay for, like, there's no way he's going to pay for an Uber. And so, because he's like, I'm going to take the metro. And I'm like, the metro is going to take forever. And it's dark and whatever. And it was funny because you chimed in. And what did you tell me? Do you remember?
I just remember telling you, like, yeah, we should go. Like, I was insistent that we should.
You made me feel bad, though. It wasn't it was like you made me, that was the only way. Because you were like, I'm going to guilt trip Adriana into going. Because you were like, Adriana, you looked at me in the eyes that I've never had you talk to me like this before. You were like, your best friend came all the way from Philadelphia to see you. And she really needs this assignment. And I think we need to make this happen for her.
Dang, I'm good.
You were good.
I should have won an Oscar for that.
Yeah. And I was like, dang, like I'm disappointing my boyfriend that I'm in love with. That's pretty selfish of me.
That was.
Yeah, I was being selfish. Mm-hmm. And then what did you offer to do, Tyler?
Offered to pay for the Uber.
You offered to pay. Yeah, how much? Do you remember how much that Uber ride was? It was.
No,
I remember how much it was.
Oh, I don't remember how much it was.
Dude, it was like $45.
Dang.
And you didn't flinch at all. I think you were just excited.
I know, that would give me a heart attack today.
Today, you would never pay like $45 for a one way. That was not round trip.
How did we even get back? Did we walk?
No, I think we got another Uber.
And I paid for that too?
You paid for that. You literally paid.
Dang.
So we hopped in an Uber, we got there, and then crazy Adriana, who didn't want to go, was enamored. Okay, the sun's setting. I get to the National Cathedral. I'm gawking, literally gawking. Do you remember? Because I was like,
I do.
wow.
The National Cathedral, even if you Google it, like definitely take an opportunity to go to the National Cathedral if you get the chance. But Google it if you don't have the opportunity, because it's beautiful, right?
It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And we got there.
Can I tell you a funny side story on this? I don't even think I told you this.
Oh, juicy.
So when I was looking for good locations to propose in DC, the National Cathedral showed up because it has a beautiful, and again, Google this. It really is beautiful if you go during the right time of year. But it has a beautiful garden. Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't put together the fact that because it was still cold outside, the garden really wouldn't be like a garden. So we get
dead vines.
So we get there, and structurally the garden's really neat because they have like
architecture and
it has like structural
beauties,
pieces and stuff outside the cathedral. But in my mind, I was expecting to get there and there'd be like a flourishing garden with like green leaves.
It's March. That's when spring comes.
Exactly. So we get there and everything's dead.
But I didn't care. I was like, this is beautiful. I just wanted to get pictures of the cathedral because I'd never seen anything like it. Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. And I was like, wow, that's why I'm so excited to go to Europe. Can you imagine how I'm going to be when we go to Europe, man?
It's going to be amazing.
I'm going to be gawking at everything. I need like 1,000 SD cards and batteries. But anyways, then you were like, come on, Adriana, we got to go. We got to go. Remember, you guys were rushing me because I wanted to keep getting pictures of it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So Adriana kept getting distracted, and here I am like trying to Now, I did have a specific spot in mind that I wanted to propose at.
The gardens.
That's basically our entire relationship summed up, though, is me being the practical person that I am, just trying to get things done, and then Adriana getting distracted trying to take pictures.
Yeah, that's so true. Well, then we got there, right? And then there was like, I remember there was this gazebo that was really cute. And then like just a ton of like arches and yeah, like there was supposed to be like flowers, but it was just like really pretty. Like it just, even though it was like wintry, it was like a really pretty like aesthetic there in general with all the bricks and like arches and everything. So Madison brought a DSLR. She had no idea how to use it. She had no idea. So basically the premise was to snap photos.
Yeah, so
Do you remember?
yeah, and that's the funny thing is we had a DSLR with us.
She borrowed it from her friend from
Yeah.
UArts. Thank you, friend.
But the funny thing is like none of the settings were configured or anything. So
No. Like I think she was going to try to shoot on auto, but like it was so dark and the lens she was using was a kit lens. It probably only went up to like 4 f-stop 4.
did you
No
set any of
flash.
the settings for her?
No, because
Yeah.
I
So-
had no idea what was happening. I thought she was doing an assignment.
So if you look at the photos taken of our engagement, those photos were taken on a DSLR camera.
No, they
but
were not. They were not taken on a DSLR. They were taken on an iPhone.
I thought she took them on the DSLR.
No, she couldn't get it. She didn't know how to work it. So like,
So the
she
photos
didn't
are
even
like
use it.
the photo quality is questionable.
Adorable. No, it's cute. They're iPhone photos.
I know they're memorable.
They're memorable.
for us,
And we just like popped.
but that's
and-
why you need to pay Adriana to come
Yeah.
capture
right.
your
Low
actual
light
engagement session, so it's done right.
Proposal. Yeah. No, Madison did awesome though. She was on top. I will say she was on top of it. Like, because what happened was I wanted a photo under this arch because I was like, this arch is super cute. We need photos. And then I started being like, okay, I'm going to get this out of the photo. I don't want to wear this. Here, I'm going to put my
yeah, I
bag
think-
over here. I started like setting up the photo.
It was that classic. And granted, I hadn't proposed yet, but I got hung up from proposing for probably a good like 5 to 7 minutes
Because I was trying to get the photo right.
yeah. So you know how you see those videos on YouTube where like women will like force the man to re-propose in order for the perfect photo? That was Adriana doing that without even knowing that you were
I had
like,
no idea I was getting proposed to in that moment. Like I literally didn't. I was just like, oh, this will be a cute photo because, you know, whatever. And, you know, Madison was just she was pretending to take photos, I think.
oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
I think she was pretending to take photos and wasn't actually taking photos on the DSLR.
Gotcha.
And then what happened was she couldn't get it right. And she and you talked about like a signal, right? Or something.
Yeah, but I forgot what the signal was.
I
But
don't know.
we
It's
had
like a
signal.
word. Like, was it a keyword or something? Or like a thumbs up or wink or
I don't know. For
all
sure.
right, I'm ready or something like that.
Yeah, I think we discussed some type of like keyword or something.
Yeah. So what she did was we were ready for the photo. So this is my perspective of it. Okay. My perspective of the actual proposal was we stood under the arch. I got myself ready for the photo. I was like, let's get in next to me or whatever, snuggle in next to me. She like had the iPhone, like she was taking the photo. And then all of a sudden, like, and I looked down and he was like short. And I was like, why are you short? And then he was on one knee. And I was like, what? And I remember like, because his lip started tremoring. And I was like,
I don't
oh.
remember that.
You remember that?
No.
You were. Your lip was tremoring and you were so cute and you looked like nervous and you looked like with tears of joy in your eyes. And then I just remember that I like ruined the moment in my perspective because I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? What? Like just, and I like ruined the sappy moment. And then he started laughing, which is like us though, you know, like I felt like it was like the first date bear moment all over again from our movie date.
Yeah. Defensive mechanism.
Yeah, I was just like
Coping.
elated with joy. And then I started like giving him kisses, and then I said yes, and he put the ring on the finger, and she was like taking a burst of iPhone photos. Do you remember? What was your perspective in that moment?
I actually don't remember much, but I'm sure glad you said yes.
Yes, I'm glad I said yes too.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, you can comment on this, but I think because that's like a pretty high risk moment as a guy, I feel so bad for guys who get a no.
Get shot down.
Yeah, like get a no, obviously, but
But you
like,
got proposal insurance, remember?
I know, but even so, like I feel like as a guy, it's kind of like jumping off a ledge. Like you kind of have to just like close your eyes and do it.
Yeah,
So
just do it.
when I try to like recollect what happened, I don't really remember
Yeah.
that moment because it's just kind of like, how did you jump off the ledge? You're like, I don't know.
I just did it.
Yeah. So sorry. I don't have much of a story.
Yeah, I feel like you were on such like an adrenaline high. Like it was fun or whatever. Like just being in the moment and I don't know, enjoying like the
Yeah. I remember there was like
joy.
a lot of joy and like
oh my
love
gosh, like
and everything.
bliss.
But yeah.
It was like bliss. It was like the definition of bliss. It was beautiful. But then from there, we like literally had tried to FaceTime all the family and tell them, right?
Yeah, we did. I think we called. Who all did we call? I know
We called your parents and FaceTime them and showed them like the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they already knew, like you told them that you were proposing, right? That night.
And your parents knew too.
Oh, they knew. I'll tell you, I was a little bitter because they told everybody that I was getting engaged. I was bitter, I remember, because they literally told like my aunts, they told all the cousins. And so they told all the uncles, they told like the grandparents, they told everybody that I was getting engaged. And so like I would call and be like, we're engaged. And everyone was like, oh, we know. Congrats. And I was like, oh, what? It's okay. We're good now. But I remember I was bitter. I was like, they told everybody. They didn't keep it a secret. It's okay. They're excited. And like their oldest daughter, their firstborn, was getting married. So they had to tell somebody, I guess. So they decided to tell everybody. Sounds about right with the excitement, right?
Yeah, it
That's
does.
funny. That's hilarious. But yeah, that's how we got engaged. And then
we had burgers.
oh, we had burgers. Oh, dude. What was the name of that burger joint in DC? Do you remember?
I don't. They have. So we got.
It's like a legit burger joint. It wasn't like, oh, we just had burgers. It was like really good food.
Yeah, but what's funny is we got engaged on a Monday night because that burger joint had half off burgers on Monday nights, which was not
Tyler.
We didn't go there
Penny
because they have
pincher.
no.
Just kidding.
It wasn't intentional.
That's
We just happened to go there, and then we were like, "Oh, that's
that
cool."
explains. Well, he was so sweet, and he paid for everybody's
No, your
food.
dad did.
Oh, my dad did.
Yeah.
My dad was so sweet and paid for everybody's food. Thank you, Dad.
Yes. Hiram got everybody's burgers that night.
Oh, and my favorite comfort food is French fries. So, and pancakes, and ice cream. Yeah, and then from there we just went like straight into wedding planning because we got married the same year.
Yeah, we only gave ourselves like 9 months. And
We had a 9-month engagement. I think it was perfect though for what we were wanting, and it was a beautiful wedding. And we we got married in Destin, Florida on, is it A1A? Is that the,
Nope.
oh gosh, what's A7?
Nope.
What's the A something?
What beach did we get married on? I think that's
Miramar Beach. But yeah, it's like what's the road in Destin that like, it's like A something.
I don't know. A1A is in South Florida, or it runs the coast on the East Coast. So it's definitely not A1A.
Okay. A something. If you're in Destin, you know what I'm talking about, or the Panhandle, Florida.
But we got married on Miramar Beach,
Destin,
which is near
Miramar
Destin.
Beach. We basically, so this is how we did it. Each side of the family rented a huge, now when I say this, they have massive like mansion beach houses up on the Panhandle. Like, and you can get like an Airbnb for a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
So each side of the family rented like gargantuan. Like when I say gargantuan, I mean like 3 level, like 15 bedroom
Yes.
type of beach houses.
So pro tip, if you're looking for
A beach
a wedding, if you're doing a beach wedding, that is a great
Yeah.
option to like
Yeah.
Adriana said, relatively affordable to house your wedding party and immediate family.
Well, we chose the location too because we were like, well, let's just do a beach wedding. But his family's all in Houston, like everybody. And then like you have a few in like Washington State and like, but mostly everybody is in Houston. And then like everybody.
Houston.
My family is majority is in Florida. And so, and then we have some in Michigan and Puerto Rico.
I know
So
they
we-
were all there.
Yeah, they were all Puerto Rico came. Family from Puerto Rico came. My family from Michigan came. And all the family from Florida came up. So it was a good like little meeting point to make it fair for everybody. To be like, everybody's going to travel. And it's going to be a similar distance. That way it wasn't like no one's traveling. And who can come and who can't. But my mom parents, my mom and dad, they rented this huge beach house. And we rented the largest one so that way we could have the wedding there. So we got married in the backyard essentially, but on the beach, a private beach behind the beach house. And then it had like this courtyard. And so that's where we had the reception. Do you remember?
I do. And then for our side of for my family, my parents rented a really large, like 3-story beach house. And like I was saying, I mean, it's for accommodation's sake. I don't know how many people were at our beach house, but it basically was able to accommodate my entire set of groomsmen.
And this means like our extended family. So like my parents, like all the extended family, like aunts and uncles, like they all stayed with us and they all each had their own room for the beach house. So it was really cool. And it was beautiful. And what's cool is it had like this mother-in-law suite, like detached from it, like on the main beach house where we had the wedding, like there. And that's where I stayed with my girls. So it was literally perfect. Like that's where did I get ready there? No, I got ready in the main beach house, but that's where we had like our bachelorette, like whatever, night. And like we could just hang, all of us, before the wedding and chill. But I remember like the morning of the wedding, I was so nervous. Like I was so excited, but like I was nervous. And so I literally could not sleep. And I woke up so early. And that's like a thing. Like I'm an early bird kind of person. So if I'm excited about something, I'm up at like 5. So that's how it was. And I watched the sunrise. And I remember I got like my Starbucks coffee in the morning. And I went and got my ring cleaned. I found like this local jeweler. And I was like, they're going to get like video and like pictures of my ring. So I want to make sure it's cleaned. So I got my ring cleaned and like took my time getting ready. I did my own makeup. And then my aunt Elise did my hair. Thank you, Elise. And I was like, I was a pretty chill bride. But the only like bridezilla moment I think I had was like getting my hair done. I'm really sorry, Elise. But like, I remember she did my hair. And I was like, no, that's not like what I was wanting. Can we like tweak it and everything? Like I was like really like a little bit Zilla-ish. But then we got it fixed and then it was great. And she did beautiful. She like intertwined like these beads in my hair. And it was really pretty. She did a really good job. And I remember there were so many people in the room where I felt like claustrophobic, like when I was ready. So it was like and then because we only paid, I think we only did 6 hours of footage for our wedding, which I wish we would have done more. That's the thing is like,
Are you sure?
yeah, I remember We did 6 hours of footage because we didn't do like getting ready photos. And we didn't do detail photos.
So
And
do
she
the
left
8-hour
after
package
cake.
if you're
She
booking
left after
Adriana.
cake cutting. Huh?
Said so if you're booking Adriana, do the 8-hour package.
Yeah. Or like if you want to do a 6 hour, do like a false sparkler exit. I mean, that's the way to do it. You could do that with an 8 hour too. I wish we would have done a false sparkler exit so we could have sparkler photos.
Oh, we just have video of it?
We only have video,
Oh, okay.
but we didn't do like this false exit. So
But the video footage of the sparkler exits.
yeah, it was cute. Yeah, it was
really
cute.
nice.
But our photos turned out really pretty. Our photographer did a really good job. But I remember it was like a high stress moment when the photographer arrived with her second shooter. And it was like so many people in the room. And I remember I was just stressed. Like I felt stressed. So I feel like my one like bit of advice would be like have a moment just to yourself. Like kick everybody out of the room and have everyone like wait for you and like have a moment to center yourself before you walk down the aisle. Cause I didn't have that. And you'll know like when we get into talking about like consults and stuff for wedding photos, that's one thing I tell my brides and my grooms because I'm like, you guys deserve to have a moment just to yourselves. Like put that in the timeline, like make time for it. Because
So-
it's stressful.
I actually had that. It might have been a little inadvertent.
Yeah. I didn't know
but
that.
Yeah, I had like a full room to myself to get dressed. And obviously like
Wow.
my outfit was not, I wasn't wearing like a tuxedo or anything because it was beach wedding. So we didn't
Yeah.
have, the guys didn't wear like tux as we wore. I had like a jacket and
We picked it out
pants.
together at Macy's. Remember, we wanted it so low key.
Yeah. So when I got dressed, I was actually like by myself for probably a good 45 minutes to an hour. And I actually, I mean, I would agree. I think it was nice to
Yeah.
have some like, granted,
Well-
I like space anyway.
Yeah. I just felt like everybody was around me. Everybody wanted photos with me. And it was like, I want photos with the bride when she's all done up. And it was like,
You're like, we're inside the beach house. This isn't even like scenic.
right. It was crazy. And then I remember walking out and my dad came down and I felt like I was just a little panicked when I walked down the stairs a little bit. Like my face even looks like it, like on the photo in the video. And like when I'm giving my dad a hug, I just felt like a little bit stressed. And it was all okay. And then when we walked out, I saw my friend, Lauren. I remember Lauren was like, she just got there from driving from Tampa. She had like a long drive and she was right there, like as I was walking down the aisle. And I was like, I felt like peaceful after seeing Lauren because she's like a very peaceful person. And I remember just feeling like centered. And because she has like such a sweet and calming demeanor to her, I was like, oh, it's Lauren. Hi. And I gave her like the biggest hug. And then, yeah. And then everything else was great. We walked down the aisle and I just focused on Tyler and I felt like no one was there. And I just love the way like he looked at me. Like that was my favorite part is like keeping eye contact with him and like knowing like, oh my gosh, this is happening. Like we've put all this work into planning and like my Aunt Tasha like put in so much work into planning this wedding. Thank you, Aunt Tasha, if you're watching because it was a beautiful wedding and she did like so much and really helped and my mom as well. Obviously. So they worked together really hard and I was able to like really relax through a lot of it. And I think I was kind of like I don't know, I just wanted to be married. And I remember just being like, I don't know, like it stresses me out. I don't want to be stressed because I get stressed easily.
We were probably like the most hands-off
I was the most hands-off bride
and groom.
ever. I was like, I don't care. Like, what kind of cake do you want? I don't care. What kind of decorations do you want? I really don't care. And we did do like a pineapple theme though, remember? We had like little hints of pineapples
Yeah, they were subtle. But
Yeah. Well, your boutonnieres were mini pineapples.
Yeah, that was pretty cool though.
Those were cute. They were live. My Aunt Tasha found these live pineapples. They were little.
We should have brought it up. I still have it.
You have it? Is it in the freezer?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like so cute. I'll have to put a photo.
Yeah, post it to Instagram.
Yeah, I'll have to put it in my stories like when we launch this episode because it is so adorable. And all the groomsmen had that, and then he had a little turquoise. It was like Tiffany blue bow tie, and the guys had like regular ties with little tiny white pineapples, like very subtle pineapples. They were cute. And then my aunt, and then Oscar, the ring bearer, he held a pineapple walking down the aisle. Do you remember?
No, he could like hardly hold it.
He could hardly hold it. He held it with the rings, like fake rings. I don't think he did the actual rings because Tyler played a trick on me with the rings.
Is that for now or the next episode?
No, you can talk about it now.
Okay. So my mom actually gave me this idea, and I coordinated with my best man. You know, like traditionally the best man is responsible for the wedding ring on wedding day. And so I had my best man actually bury Adriana's wedding ring inside a fake shell, like a plastic shell. It looked like
ceramic, dude.
Oh, a ceramic.
Yeah.
It looks like a seashell. It's like a ceramic seashell.
But it's like a jewelry box. It was like with a hinge.
Right. So he actually buried it in the sand and like left a stick to remind him where it was buried. And he buried it probably like an hour before the ceremony.
Yeah. And here's the funny thing. So my dad, he actually officiated the wedding. He didn't know.
No one knew.
No one knew.
Only me and Zachary knew.
When my dad read off, like, okay, go ahead and hand over the rings or whatever.
My best man Zachary, of course, acted like
I don't know what they are. Like
he didn't have it and he didn't know where it was.
And you should have seen my face. Well, I thought, oh my gosh, this is what went through my mind. They left them at the beach house. That's what I thought. Yeah. We're going to have to pause here. It's going to be awkward. We're going to have to wait here for like 10 minutes telling jokes or something.
Yeah. It was like
while we wait for these rings to show up.
And Zachary did a great job acting as if he lost it.
Yeah.
He checked his pockets. He checked his pants pockets.
Yeah.
He was feeling around his, anywhere and everywhere that it could be on his body.
He did a really good job, like pretending. And the photographer got some. Oh, you did tell the photographer.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Let me back up. So I told the photographer and videographer.
Did you tell the videographer?
I think so.
Okay.
I told both of them to catch Adriana's reaction to the wedding ring being lost. Mm-hmm. And they actually did. So they did really good. There's some great pictures and video of Adriana's face when she thinks the wedding ring was lost.
I have an RBF face in those pictures though.
Yeah, they're great.
No.
And you know the story, they're great.
They're great if you know what's happening behind the photos.
So the funny thing is in the video, Zachary's like, oh yeah, I remember where the ring's at. He turns around and he's got like a stick in the ground to notate where the ring was buried. He digs up the ring out of the sand.
Didn't he put a finger up like, I remember like that? Didn't he do something like that? Like, oh, like
yeah. And then he digs it up and gets that shell out of the sand. And of course, there was the ring, but
there's the ring.
Looking back on it, it's pretty funny because that ring was buried for like an hour.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. It's too much.
Like, what if somebody would have had like a metal detector and just been like, boop, boop, boop.
It's right by the wedding. I feel like people, because everything was set up, everyone was like really respectful in the private beach for the most part.
We had a lot of people who were like spectating the wedding.
Oh yeah, from the balcony. It was beautiful though. Like it legit was like the chairs were like these like beautiful wooden chairs. Like everything was like the finishes looked so nice.
But just imagine though having a wedding and then having like an additional 50 people in swimwear participating.
Yeah, but they were spectating from like a long distance. Luckily, we didn't have like people walking behind it and being like disrespectful. It was a private beach.
Yeah, you're. I mean, They were being really respectful,
Yeah,
but it was
there
kind of
was a
funny
ton of people like
because from
beach.
where we were standing, being in front of the ceremony, we were obviously looking out
Yeah.
outside of us, looking at each other. Especially when you were walking down, Adriana was walking obviously down the aisle, and I was standing at the front. So I'm looking out at her as she's walking down. What's that called? Like the bank or the sand dune. She was kind of like walking down or over the sand dune to enter the private beach, and there's just like a crowd of people in swimwear.
Oh,
watching.
I didn't even remember. I don't remember seeing that at all. But that's funny because your perspective was looking down that direction.
Yeah.
My perspective was looking out towards the water at you.
Oh, yeah,
so
there were
I didn't
so
see
many.
them.
Yeah, there was probably like
I believe that.
if we had, how many people do you think we had at our wedding? Actually,
We definitely had like 100.
Okay, so imagine having like an additional like 40, 50 people just in
watching,
swimwear.
spectating.
Yeah, spectating.
That was funny. Just Uncle Joe with his big belly out watching the wedding from behind us.
Exactly.
Their camera.
Exactly.
iPhone videos, posting it on their
Yeah,
Facebook.
just some sunburnt guy.
Yeah.
Staring at us.
Some dude in a Speedo.
There was a guy though. Never mind.
Say it.
No.
Say it.
Dude, there was a guy when we were there. I think I saw him a couple times that was like wearing a Speedo.
Was he?
Like not like in the wedding, but like around.
Oh my gosh. I didn't see him.
Yeah.
I remember there was a helicopter that flew over us during the ceremony. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that, no.
Yeah. There was a helicopter and it was like very subtle and then it went like it was loud and then it flew away. But the photographer, she got a photo of the helicopter above us. So we have that's in our wedding photos.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. And then like after he kissed the bride, we like celebrated with a Disney song. Do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
It was When We Wish Upon a Star. Right? When You Wish Upon a Star.
Mm-hmm.
It was so cute. And then like I was literally barefoot the whole day. Like we ate, and then before that we took our photos and then you ripped your pants.
I did.
You ripped your pants from the front to the back. And we didn't know it was up the back part yet.
Yeah, it probably just kept creeping.
Well, here's the thing. I told Tyler to buy new pants before the wedding day. Do you remember? And then you were like, oh no, I'm just going to wear my old pants because they match and I'm going to return these because I don't need them. You know it's true. I'm going to return these because we don't need them. And my old pants fit just fine. And my old pants are free. And we're going to Barbados. So
The new pants were probably only like, what, $60, $70?
dude, you should have just kept the pants because they were worn out. But they look good in the photos. Like, yeah, like whatever they did, they were neutral. He didn't want to buy new pants because his reasoning was, well, I'm only going to wear them for like 12 hours. So why do I need to buy new pants?
I stand by that. I mean, they ripped.
Oh my gosh.
What if I would have had the $70 pair?
Just
and they
buy
would've
new
ripped?
pants.
And they
Like,
would've ripped.
don't argue. Just buy new pants. Like, do it. Don't wear old pants to your wedding day. Worn out pants. But it's fine. It made for a good story. So
It did.
you ripped your pants all the way up the crotch. And what's funny, because we got married in November and it was chilly in the evenings. And so I asked for his jacket. Do you remember this?
Yeah, but you didn't get to keep it.
I didn't get to keep it. Why didn't I get to keep the jacket? Because I had it on me for a little bit and it was over my shoulders
So Adriana primarily wore it when we were sitting down for our wedding dinner.
because I was cold.
And then we were supposed to get up to start the dance segment of the reception.
And you wanted to go for more food, remember? At the food line.
Oh yeah, so you could go back for additional food or whatever. The way we had the reception portion of our wedding. So
It was nice.
I had got up from where we were sitting in the front to go get more food, and between Adriana and her bridesmaids, they were all like,
Well, was it Madison that came up to you and she was like, Tyler, we
Yeah,
can
like-
see up your butt, dude. Like, I don't know if you realized it, but she was like, I don't know if you realized it, but your pants ripped all the way up the butt.
which I didn't. So I had to take my jacket back from Adriana, who was wearing my jacket to keep warm.
Yeah.
because it was like the only way I could somewhat hide the pretty significant tear.
So you didn't even really care that we were like that your pants were ripped because we were dancing, and he whatever
No,
like
it was
he was
actually
like,
more like loose.
oh my gosh, yeah. You would have think like we didn't have alcohol at our wedding,
No.
but you would have thought we did the way he was dancing, like with his pants ripped. No care in the world. I loved it. I think he was just happy to be married, and it was like his celebration. His favorite people were all there. My favorite people were all there, and we were just having a good time.
Yeah.
And then
I will say that was really neat. Adriana alluded earlier to the fact that we had it in Florida to try to make it pretty fair for her family and my family to attend. And it's pretty amazing the people who showed up that maybe we wouldn't have even expected, just in terms of them going out of their way to attend. So that was pretty cool. We had a lot of really special people that, like your family in Puerto Rico, completely unexpected. That was like a big visit for them to actually come all the way.
For my wedding, that was
Stateside.
so special. And we still have to go to Puerto Rico. Tyler hasn't been to Puerto Rico, nor have you been to Michigan. So we have 2 big trips that we need to take. But that was really special.
Yeah, it was really neat. And then we had some good family friends who came as well, who came all the way from Texas, who, you know, for them just being friends, but it was pretty neat that they actually...
It was really special that they made that trip all the way down here to be with us.
You had your Michigan family, like you said.
Yeah,
so
Michigan.
It's neat to get... I mean, I'm not saying like... It's like maybe one of the few days in your life you can...
Bring everybody together on both sides of the family.
Yeah, and I guess be a little bit selfish because it is like your
day.
wedding day.
Yeah.
But at the same time, one thing I do appreciate about our wedding, you can ask Adriana this, and I feel bad saying this as a wedding photographer's husband, but I hate weddings. There's only a handful of weddings that I've been to that are like tolerable.
I will add to this, and I'm not going to say whose wedding this happened at. This will stay anonymous because you've been to quite a few weddings with me. But I didn't realize this until he was sitting like this. If you're watching on YouTube, like how he's sitting now with his ankle up on his knee. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like crossing your left ankle onto your right knee. And I was sitting next to you.
And my pants were
his
like creeping
pants
up
kind of
slowly.
like hiked up a little bit, and I could see his socks. Well, a family member gifted him these socks, and
Thank
he
you, Aunt
decided
Julie.
to wear them to my friend's wedding. And it said, do you want to tell them what your socks said?
Yeah, so I was wearing a black pair of dress socks.
What did the socks say, Tyler?
So if you think about this in financial terms, but then think about what was implied, they said,
Tyler.
they said 0% interest.
No, it said 0% interest, right? Interest?
Yeah, interest.
Oh my
But with
gosh.
the percent sign.
He literally wore those, like, it looked like it said 0% interested. Like, to my friend's wedding, hiked up, and then, like, the other 2 people sitting on the other side of both of us could, like, see that. I was like, Taylor, put your freaking foot down, man.
Did you throw those socks away? Because I can't find
No,
those.
I didn't throw them
Okay.
away. I
They must have just got
promise. I don't do
eaten by
that.
the
I don't
dryer
take your
po-
stuff.
It's just got eaten by the dryer or something.
Yeah, I think the dryer monster ate them, but I don't do that because I don't like it when people do that to me. So
Fair.
yeah, but that's how he feels about weddings. But you liked
I
our
lost
wedding.
my wedding socks.
He lost his wedding socks. Thank God that was an answer to my prayers. But yeah, and then after our dancing and cake cutting and sparkler exit, it was just like a good time. And we did the sparkler exit into our car, which was covered in car paint. At the time, Tyler had a Jeep. What was it? A red Jeep.
Had a red Jeep.
What's
Renegade.
it called?
Yeah, I had a Renegade.
Renegade.
I
And he
forget what
named
it's
it
called.
Poopsie. And at the time, Poopsie's air conditioning broke. Do you remember
did.
that? And we
Yeah.
had to we drove to our hotel. We stayed at like a Home 2 Suites, right? Home 2 Suites? Yeah. The new one.
Did you talk about the first night?
The first night.
The very first night we stayed at a no, it wasn't home two. It was a
Home. One of the new ones.
no, remember
Anyways, some type of Hilton. We get, because he travels points. So we stay with whatever Hilton, and it was a nice one. So I didn't have an I wanted to change my clothes, but I didn't have an opportunity to change. I was in my wedding dress, just going straight into the vehicle, and it was covered in car paint, and it was like, just married. Oh my gosh. One window, do you remember? It said, pop them babies out.
yeah, I remember that.
Oh my
and
God.
here we are.
Yeah, no babies.
We got babies.
Fur babies.
Yeah.
Fur babies.
We got right on that. We had fur babies
Fur
like 2 months later.
children. Yeah, I was about to be like, don't scare me like that, Tyler. Like, no, I don't. Just kidding. Like, wait, I'm the one that gets them, not you. No. Anyways, but yeah, and then it had like Honk for Love on there, and we drove there, and I was so embarrassed because I didn't want to like go and check into our hotel in my wedding dress, because it's just that stigma, like, oh, they're gonna have sex on their wedding night, like that stigma of like wedding night stigma, and just like, no, I don't want to like.
Yeah, people are just like staring at
you,
like
just
winking at us.
Winking at us, like, look at you two just married, hot, steamy couple.
You know what's funny though is after that night, the next day we went down for breakfast.
Oh my gosh, I was mortified.
Yeah,
mortified.
This is such a great component of the wedding story.
Gosh.
So we had stayed the night and we went down the next day for breakfast, and in doing so, we ended up running into my best friend's mom, who is kind of like a second mom to me, and her sister, who were at the wedding. We didn't know they were staying at the same hotel that we were staying at for our wedding night.
So awkward.
So here we are the night after the wedding, and we're like bumping into them for breakfast.
So awkward. I wanted to go back to the room. I love them, obviously, but it's just like after your wedding night and then you run into people you're like, this is just awkward. Especially if it's not like your people, it's your person's people. I love them, but not in that setting. It was just awkward.
I don't know. Like, I laugh at it now, but I didn't really even think of anything in the moment.
Oh, really? I did. I'm always in my mind.
Yeah.
I'm always in my brain.
I was just like, oh, look, it's
so-and-so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah. And then that's like when the big honeymoon episode begins, right? And we'll have to fill you guys in on the next episode.
Yeah, that's such a big story. It's
only
appropriate.
It's going to be a long story,
Yeah.
really long story, because
I feel like a book.
it's a juicy story. It deserves its own episode too. So love how we're like documenting this. This is kind of fun. Like,
it's like a journal, but
a verbal journal.
Yeah, a video and
to
verbal
live on the internet for everybody to hear. You can pull it up whenever you want on YouTube or Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
That's cool.
It is cool. I'm excited about it. But yeah, stay tuned for that. We're excited for talking about our honeymoon story, but it's been a fun time talking with you guys. And don't forget to send me your wedding stories. Like, we're sharing ours, and there's some, we talked about a few little juicy moments that happened, but we're about to spill some tea on some juicy honeymoon stuff next episode. So keep in tune with us there. But anyways, you guys, if you enjoyed listening to today's episode, go ahead and give us a 5-star review. We'd love that on Rare. If you guys have enjoyed today's episode, go ahead and give us a 5-star review. We would love that on Raw Narrative. And if you are following me, I have my pop-up session happening on December 31st. Date night on the rooftop, Charlotte, North Carolina rooftop session. Super great, steamy, great, beautiful. Why are you looking at me like that? Because I said steamy.
Yeah, it's not going to be that steamy.
It's not going to be that steamy. It's going to be awesome.
Romantic.
Okay. It's a romantic roof night. It's a romantic rooftop session. Okay, guys. So register for that. You can find all the info on my Instagram at Adriana McGowan Photography. And stay tuned for our next episode. It was great speaking with y'all today. You have anything else to tell them? Nope. All right, guys. Toodles.
This is Raw Narrative. Stories in the Raw.